Most online coaches, consultants, agency owners, service providers, they're secretly struggling, wondering where their money went, wondering where the time went, and feeling like they should be somewhere by now that they're just not. And it keeps them up at night. It keeps them wondering if the work is even really worth it. And it might keep you from thinking that you could ever achieve the things that you actually set out to achieve. This pain is real, and it's stifling. And not only is it lonely, but it's true. That's the sucky part about this pain of wondering if you could be somewhere by now, is that it's true. You probably could. And so, if this feels like you at all, you've got to watch this whole video. You have to. You have to really tune in, because I am not just speaking in theory here. I'm speaking from deep personal experience. By the time I was 21 years old, I'd made my first $1 million profit. By the time I was 23, I'd essentially blown it. Okay? I'm about to be 26. And now I've fully recovered. And across my two businesses, I'm pacing over $200,000 a month in profit. That's take-home profit after expenses. And not only that, I get to do whatever I want with my time. I get to enjoy time with my family. I get to be with friends. I get to do things that I like. I get to hit the gym. I can wake up whenever I want, stay up as late as I want. Discipline is not a factor. It's pure love driven. I just love what I do. I'm not forcing myself to be something I'm not every day, and I'm not feeling the weight of my financial pressures every day. I'm free. And in this video, I truly just want to give you that same freedom. And the way that I'm going to give that to you is I'm going to talk about what I really call wealth building models. Okay. And what wealth building models are is it's ways of structuring your business, it's ways of running your life, and it's ways of making investments that give you peace, security, and assured 100% guaranteed wealth building. Okay. There's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Wealthy is you get a consistent drip of assets that are bigger than you. Okay. Rich is you won the lottery. You might have $1 million in the short term, but if you don't become a millionaire in your heart and in your head, you don't start thinking and acting like a millionaire, you're going to lose the money. But wealth is getting dripped cash flow from assets. Okay. So what I want to share with you are the assets that you can build that create wealth. And I'm going to give you about 3. Okay. And this applies to every type of business: coaching businesses, consulting, whether you're a B2C, like you're like a health coach of some kind, or a fitness coach, or you're more of a consultant. You've got a $20,000 or $30,000 wealth building package for elite executives. One of my very first clients that I worked with in my Done For You business, where I actually come in and build out your whole funnel. So you can learn more about that in the description. Where I actually come in, I build your business with you, and I even staff your business with high quality sales talent. She was able to do over $2 million a year in sales with that. And her product was a $50,000 marriage consulting package for basically VIP people. So it doesn't matter what you do, or if you're an agency owner, all of this applies. So the first thing that I want you to understand is your asset. This is your relationships with clients. Okay. And the reason why this is so important is so many people for so long have pushed this one-time conversion event model. I think that is silly if you're trying to build wealth. Not be rich, but build wealth. Somebody says, oh, we do $1 million a month. I'm like, okay, well, you have to go do that again next month now. I'd rather do $200,000 to $300,000 a month. keep 90% because it's recurring business that I've already paid to acquire a year ago. Right? And so with my inner circle group, it's an activation fee and then a monthly. Or you can pay outright for the year, which is a significant discount on what the yearly would be. And I've now got about 25 clients in there that pay me monthly. And it's the easiest, most fun and fulfilling relationships. And it's starting to just stack and stack and stack and stack. And I've been working on this for about a year and a half. It's only taken me a year and a half, but a year and a half ago, when I was really rebuilding my business, it took a lot of discipline to not just go after short-term wins. And a year and a half's hardly any time. So I'm not even sitting here bragging, but that's the first thing, is your client relationships. How do you set up the monetary structure of your client relationships? Are you thinking long-term with your clients? Meaning, I'm going to get and retain this business, and I'm going to make my work more and more valuable for them over time so that they pay me more and more money. But the problem is, so many people are going after one conversion event, okay? And it's just unsustainable. Like, on the first of the month, every single month, I get all of these recurring billings, and it just covers everything, and then some. And I have tons of money left over to put away and do whatever I want with. Okay, and I have about a 90% retention rate on those clients. So I want you to really think about your business model. Are you actually creating something that is a little bit more painful in the short term? Meaning you're not going to make as much cash this year, but next year, you're going to be swimming in cash because of your client relationships. Okay, so that's the first asset I want you to think about. Your second asset is your reputation. The scriptures, I'm Christian, and in Proverbs, it talks over and over and over again how about a reputation is worth more than riches. And people saying good things about you is worth more than gold. I just today, actually, it's yesterday, I had somebody sign up for my Kaizen Mastermind, which is the inner circle group that I run. And they said that their operations manager in their company referred the owner of the company to me, who I then had a consult call with, and they decided it was a great fit. And I decided it was a great fit, and I don't enroll everybody. I only want great fits because selfishly, I want long-term clients. I don't want people in here that aren't going to be paying me for at least 6 to 8 months. So I'm not going to have people in here that I can't actually help, okay? It's not worth 1 month of work. It's not even enough money for me to give my time. So I'm actually losing for the first month or two with these relationships. I want to make it so valuable that they just have to stick around because there's so much they're gaining. So your reputation is so key. And I've done some things that have hurt my reputation before. Some things that I made short-term gains for long-term sacrifices. And it always it's worth so much pain for so little gain, right? My first business that I got to about that $200,000 a month level, I didn't do either of these things, by the way. Not that I had hurt my reputation by any means, but I wasn't as aware of how my reputation played a role. I mean, I was 21, you know what I mean? So how, like, I'm sorry, if you're 21, you just have to accept that you're kind of dumb right now. It's okay. Like, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes like I did. But I had a $5,000 offer, and I scaled that way out to about $200,000 to $300,000 a month and built a big group of about 700 clients, big group coaching program. And it did amazingly well. And that's where I made a lot of my first riches. Not wealth, but riches. I made a lot of riches. And bought nice things, bought $40,000 Rolexes, bought my dream car, a Jaguar F-Type R, bought a Tesla Model X, bought a nice penthouse apartment. I did all this stuff. But what I just could not, for some reason could not think longer term. I was always thinking about the next couple of months. That's the furthest out that I'd think. That's just because I was young. I hadn't felt time pass yet. And so with that business, I wasn't thinking about long-term client relationships. I told people lifetime access for $5,000. So they pay me $5,000 and they'd be in there for life. So you can see how that starts to break. If I'm not getting new clients constantly, then I'm not making any money from that group. And then if our business slows down and I'm not making money, my money's draining quickly because of our operating expenses, and I've got to serve these clients. So that model started to kind of fall in on itself, and I realized that's not the way to run a business, right? And that actually hurt a lot of my reputation over there. A lot of people felt very rug pulled when I started to pull out and not be on those calls as much, and I felt upset about it. But it was just like, I'm losing so much money, so I didn't know what to do. This should have been about 2 years ago. So, and today, I'm in a much better place, but I'm telling you, you have to think long term. If I'd have just had like a $500 a month fee after 6 months, so it's $5,000 and $500 a month after 6 months or something, build some recurring, get 30, 40 grand a month off of that group, maybe 50 grand a month, like that would have been perfect. But I wasn't thinking like that, okay? And then when I say reputation, you have to understand that this is something that people in our space just do not appreciate. Reputation isn't just how much you're making. It's not just how good your content is. Reputation is how you deal with your team. Reputation is how you deal with your clients. Reputation is how you handle the hard stuff. These little things, they ripple. And every time, like the internet accelerates reputation so rapidly that every time that you make a mistake as a leader, it just crushes your momentum, okay? Like if you have a big scaled out team and you do something stupid as the leader, and let's say you start taking money out of the business aggressively to go buy nice stuff, and the team can sense that the business isn't doing that well, like your reputation's dead, dude. Like your reputation is your number one greatest asset, aside from the longevity of your client relationships. So I really want you to understand that if you don't have positive goodwill with the marketplace at large, then over the long term, you are going to have to fight an uphill battle where others are letting gravity take them downhill. I'm at a point now where I would say gravity's taking me downhill. I get so many referrals, it's amazing. I probably don't even have to make content in order to get clients over here. I mean, it's just like, the referrals are amazing. And it's phenomenal. But I just make these because I like them. Like I'm coming home from the gym and I want to talk about sustainable wealth building. Okay, so the third thing, actually I'm going to have 4 here. I'm going to talk about the third and the fourth. The third thing as an asset is an acquisition channel, a profitable acquisition channel. So essentially what you're building when you build businesses is products or services, and then the acquisition channels with which you're going to sell the products or services, okay? So in my other company, the Kingdom Closer Academy, it's KCA, which I've kind of talked about on this channel quite a bit, and with my inner circle clients, they literally are seeing me live build this business out. They saw me go from, in 1 month, spending $25,000 on ads and losing a lot of it, to the second month doing over 100 grand in sales, okay? So they've watched me build it out so they can see me designing businesses and stuff. And that's a part of the value of that group is, I'm not just, at this point, this business, my coaches thing, or this thing. There's so many people in this space. This doesn't even make me as much money as that does. And I love that. I think that's so dope. So I really just want to show, not tell, But anyway, over there, we've got 4 profitable acquisition channels, okay? We have a video sales letter funnel that links to our Instagram, which is another acquisition channel, okay? Then we have a YouTube channel, which is an amazing acquisition channel. And then now, by this time next month, we'll have a low ticket funnel. So we'll have 4 profitable acquisition channels, each of which could easily on its own be a 6-figure per month acquisition channel. But because we have 4, we're well hedged. And if any one of them isn't doing that well that month, we can, fix it, okay? And the way that I manage this, by the way, is I have different people who own that channel. So I've got one person who all they do is the Instagram. I kind of do the VSL stuff. That's what I'm pretty good at. I have somebody who does the low ticket on my team, and I direct all of this. And then I've trained our head of client success, who's kind of the face of that business, to do the YouTube. So I've shown him how to do YouTube. So we have all these different channels. So we have a service, and then we have an acquisition channel. And a service turns an acquisition channel into an asset. So acquisition channels, the more profitable acquisition channels you can build, that is like building the greatest cash flowing asset you could possibly possess. Okay. Like this YouTube channel is an acquisition channel for me. This is a YouTube channel that cash flows me essentially the same amount as $10 million in real estate would. So when you start to think about it like that, you start to really appreciate investing time and energy into profitable acquisition channels, and then pairing them with high value services and products. Okay, so if you can study marketing, copywriting, persuasion, sales, and you can start to build profitable acquisition channels around products and services, that is an amazing asset. And now, I would say an acquisition channel without a lot of change can last you about 2 to 4 years, sometimes even 5 years. I mean, the market changes quite a bit. Sometimes you have to update it. So if you can study the basics and you understand the basics, then you can build acquisition channels at will and essentially create more cash flowing, wealth building assets for yourself. Okay, with my inner circle, this business that I would run, I would say I'd run it off this channel. I have essentially 3 acquisition channels. Okay, I have YouTube. Okay, I would say 4. I have YouTube, organic, completely organic. Instagram, again, completely organic, no paid. And then I have referrals, which is actually a sizable acquisition channel. And I don't even necessarily offer anything. Like, I don't offer a referral fee or anything. Most of my clients just refer, which is amazing. But I'm gonna probably start offering a referral thing just to incentivize it, but I don't even know that I will, because I don't want them to refer anybody just to make money. Like, that's a little silly. I want to really earn that referral. And then the 4th one that we're launching is this time next month, we should have a low ticket funnel for this business. So I'll have 4 acquisition channels with 1 incredible product at the center. And so you can start to see how I'm building wealth by focusing on acquisition channels, profitable, meaningful, long-term, sustainable acquisition channels surrounding sticky products and services, things that people keep paying for time and time again. Okay. So that's another asset, acquisition channels. The final asset, okay, the final thing I want you to think about, I actually want to show you guys something that will help really drive this home. And I texted this to my wife, actually. And it's this quote, okay, so I'm just going to read it. It's this tweet. And he says, this is a mind-blowing stat. Jerry Buss, I guess he's like a billionaire or something, bought the Lakers for $67 million in 1979, and he exited it in 2025 for 149 times his money at $10 billion. So 67 million in, 10 billion out. Sounds like a lot, right? Sounds crazy. Well, here's what's even crazier. That's somehow less than he would have made by simply dollar cost averaging the index S&P 500 over that time period. He would have had $13 billion instead of 10. So instead of going through all this work of owning a team and raising up the leadership within the team, the organization, and finding a buyer and dealing with all the drama of all the people, if he'd have just taken that $67 million and said, you know what, I'm just gonna index the S&P 500 for that. It would have been about 45 years from 1979 to 2025, so 46 years. He would have had more money had he simply indexed the S&P 500. So this is really boring advice that I'm giving you. But I really feel very strongly that a lot of people's best shot at 8-figure liquid wealth by the time that they're 40 or 50, which, if you're like myself, I have no issue waiting. I'm in no hurry whatsoever. I love my life. I love everything about it. I love my clients. I love my daily routine. I love everything. I honestly, I would change very little. Okay, so I'm not in any sort of a hurry. But if you're willing to just enjoy your life in the meantime by running businesses that are cash flow businesses that you love running, working with clients you love, building acquisition channels around services and products you're excited to deliver on, and then you trust yourself that over, throughout the 4 to 8 year cycles, you'll have to re-engage your acquisition channels, find new creative solutions because the market tends to change. But you'll only have to do that 3 or 4 times, right? And in the meantime, just dollar cost average assets. So for me, what I do, well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to share what I do. Included in that is the S&P 500. It's cryptocurrency, S&P 500, and there's some real estate stuff, okay? And so I essentially dollar cost average those investments. And I've been doing that for a while now, and it's starting to yield pretty incredible. I'm already seeing the effects of compound interest. Okay, and if I hadn't had this mindset of just consistently every day doing it, it's like going to the gym. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the perfect form. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have the perfect investment, or you put the right amount of money into it, or you have the right tax strategy necessarily, even though taxes are important. If you just show up and you just do it every day, then it compounds. And the trick to doing it every day is falling in love with the process. That is the thing that will keep you steady and secure for decades. So you gotta love it. If you don't love it, you're not gonna do it for a long time. Okay? And if you don't love it, either learn to love it and find things that you love about it, or pivot. Pivot to something you love. Because I would rather make less money doing something that I love, because I know that that money will be sound and secure, than make more money doing something that I just can't stand. That will at max last me 3 to 5 years before I'll just burn way out. And that's what people don't talk about. In this particular space, and I'll end the video on this, people mimic and model and do what they see other people doing because they don't trust their own intuition, because they aren't tapped into their own creative genius. And in that, they betray themselves and they burn out. And that's why people can't build wealth, is because they betray themselves. Your body can feel it, your family can feel it, your friends can feel it, you can feel it, your brain can feel it. And it creates this disillusion effect where you're down here, but you've created this hologram version of yourself way up here. And this suspense cannot last. So if you find something you love, and you make it habit, and you make it ritual, and you make it make you money, you can hold that for a long time, and you just dollar cost average some decent assets. I'm telling you, you'll build wealth. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully that this has been a valuable video. See you in the next one.